On air. The December 5th, 2014 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We have Yvette in transit, and it looks like she's frozen at the moment. So
That's okay.
hopefully she'll be able to come back to us, but we certainly don't want her wrecking her car trying to speak to us. We want Yvette safe. We love Yvette.
When you're safe, and she can learn whatever she can from listening to us.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Miss Linda, you were telling. You were on Intuit.
Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Oh, someone has us.
hello.
We have Yvette in transit, and it looks like she's frozen at the moment. That's okay. Hopefully she'll be able to come
Is
back.
that you, Linda?
After wrecking her car.
Linda, you had us on twice. Let me unmute you again. Now it's not letting me unmute you. Okay.
Myself. There you go.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
Technical difficulties are over now.
I think because she had so many different ones open, I think she opened the YouTube one.
Yeah. YouTube was open in the background, and then the one that I'm on. So, and there's a delay.
Right.
I guess in case we swear, we can turn people off or something. So.
Okay.
All right.
So, Miss Linda, you were on support, Intuit support this afternoon.
I was.
And the problem was?
Well, you know, I run, as most pro advisors do, I run multiple versions of QuickBooks. So
Right.
I had gotten a new computer, so I had to reinstall it on that. And then when you reinstall QuickBooks from the download, you still have to install all the updates. Well, my updates weren't installing, and I'd go in and I'd say, okay, updated, and I'd get an error message, and I'd do it again, I'd reset it. Oh, and I mean, I tried this about 5 or 10 times over the last week. So I finally called in, and there's a little file that had gotten disabled, and the error code will show you. You can search for the error code on the support.quickbooks.intuit.com, but you don't have to do that. You can call into your help, and they'll search for it and email it to you. But they'll also walk you through doing it, and Amy did that. There was a part of Windows that was disabled, so I went into the Windows control panel and enabled it. And there were 4 choices, like automatic and some other kind of automatic and manual and disabled. She told me choose the manual one and make sure it started, and then go out. We even rebooted my computer in that, and then it started working. Oh, then the other thing, though, that I had to do, though, it still didn't download the updates. Or if it did, it couldn't install them. I had to actually close QuickBooks and then go up to where I have an icon on my desktop. I don't know how other people do it, but if you do, you right-click on the icon and you run as administrator. And I know a lot of times I had to do that.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a Windows 7 thing.
Because I have Windows 7 Professional. The laptop is 32-bit, and my desktop is now 64-bit.
Okay.
So that's a Windows 7 thing. So that, you know, a lot of times it's those little things. Then the other thing is the last thing we worked on, and that all got fixed. But I'm working on trying to rebuild my personal data file, which started in 2005. So it's now like 9 or 10 years old, and I'm getting corruption errors in it. And it looks like the corruption errors are from December 6, 2006 and December 31st, 2008. So we were going through the I emailed her a copy of my WinLog file, and
so you seem to have a lot of error messages on that database now. Isn't this the second time? Didn't you have credit card?
Yes, I did have credit card problems with it, and I think it's that it's such an old an old data file. I don't think that it's that big.
I would, if it's your personal one, Linda, I can't imagine it would be too big. You know, because
well, I have an awful lot of credit cards. I have about 20 credit cards that I rotate in between, in and out of, depending on cash advances being 0 and things like that. I'm trying to see here if I've got. So if I go to QuickBooks and then I go to my F2, that's on the other computer, so I can look on it. The size of the file is 187,428K. I don't think that's that big, but it's big enough. Hi, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis. But you're getting corruption, and your corruption keeps coming back.
Yeah, and then I'm going to make a new data file. And that's the question I actually have for the group. Usually to make a new data file, I just will export all my lists and everything. But it would be really nice if there was some way I could make a copy of the data file I have right now, which goes from 2005 to 2014, and then keep like 12, 13, 14, and take that into a new data file, so that I had a 3-year history.
Well, you could do that in the utilities set period. You can set certain dates.
Okay, and actually keep that? Okay, well then I'm going to try that, because it'd be a good one to play on.
Right.
I think you can you should be able to go in and set a date range of, get rid of data before such and such, or have summary data before such and such.
Right. And just make copies. Archive original, then make a copy to play with. So
okay, here I've got, in this one I'm in 15 right now, Premiere 2015, and I get to copy the company file for QuickBooks Mac, or copy the company file for QuickBooks Online.
Neither. You want to go? I'm opening my QuickBooks now too.
So maybe I need to go to either
Condense?
No, or
I believe it is part of the Condense.
Okay, let me go Condense. Okay, remove transactions before. Oh.
Yeah. Now you see the date range?
Okay. I need to make a copy of this file first.
And
so,
play.
Yeah, that I'll go into Windows and make a copy before I play.
Absolutely. Don't do it now, please.
No. And then I will play. Thank you. So you go to condensed data.
Right.
I've condensed in that before.
Right.
So I haven't used it to kind of make a new file. So I'll do that. Good. And then I'll be able to report on how that worked.
Oh, good.
So that will be good.
So, Dennis, how are you? Frozen.
It's pretty cold out here on the West Coast, but it's not anywhere near as cold as it is on the East Coast.
Well, we're a little bit warmer today. We're in the 40s, but we've got rain. We've got a nasty storm coming our way.
Oh,
and I don't know whether it's going to be rain or snow or a combination and whatever. So we lost Dennis. I'm assuming he's coming back. Technical issues.
Yeah. Well, we still don't know how he's connected to the internet, do we? Remember we talked about that last week?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And Larry, we need to talk about OpenDNS with Larry.
That's right.
Hey, Larry.
Well, I followed their directions.
Yes.
And I did both laptops and the desktop. Of course, the old desktop is on XP, so I don't expect much out of that. But
right.
So then I was able to get into my wireless router. And I changed the settings on that also for what, just what they said.
Right.
Still, when I run the test, it said, "Oops, you don't have OpenDNS yet."
Ah,
So my thought is probably the ISP. It's a cable company. They're probably they provide their own router that you have to use,
right.
and my guess is somehow that's
What the problem is, you would need.
yeah, it's probably blocking it there.
Right. Hi, Yvette.
Hi, I'm back. I was at the
Yeah,
grocery store.
Oh, look at that pretty Christmas tree.
Yeah, I'm not finished. I've been working on it every day. I mean, a little bit here, a little bit there. I got all the outside lights. Pardon me?
It looks a little tall. It looks like it's bent over at the top.
Oh, you know why? It's because I don't have the lights on top. I ran out of lights last night. That's where it's coming from. I got some tonight. I'm going to finish as soon as I get off here, and I have some friends coming over for dinner tonight, and I got all the lights outside on, so that's great.
All right.
I see your wreath on your front door, stockings on the fireplace.
Yeah, I really, yeah, I have to. My daughter, she likes everything decorative, you know.
Yes.
So, I do. I collect nutcrackers, so I have quite a collection throughout my house.
Oh, that's awesome. Larry, I'm sorry. Were we done? Did I cut you off?
Well, no, I was just going to add on to that. My next project, I think, is I'm going to try to tackle a VPN.
VPN.
They're not that expensive, $50-$60 for the year.
We missed the last. You said
VPN.
Okay.
Virtual Private Network.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And I know it's suggested heavily if you're going to use your smartphone or your laptop when you're going through airports and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
But it's supposed to help you keep a little more secure.
Right.
Well, you know what I do for my security? Turn the doggone device off.
There you go. Wow! What a brilliant idea.
I know. I usually use because I've been with AT&T since 1997 for my cell phone service. Well, they weren't AT&T when we started, so I've been with.
It was Pac Bell.
Mine was Cellular One, and then
Okay.
it's
Great. That's great.
So I've been grandfathered in. I have unlimited data.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
me too.
So
Keep it.
exactly. But I actually called them yesterday, and I found out that when you hit 5 gigs,
Yeah.
they slow you down.
Yes.
So she was like, "Oh yeah, they slowed you down last month." And I go, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, you hit 5 gigs, so they slowed you down." I'm like, "I didn't know there's a difference."
So is this per month or like forever?
No, it's per month. It's when you hit so much in 1 month, and there's a little warning sign in your phone that tells you when you're getting full.
Yeah.
I'll get it on my phone and show you.
Because I have unlimited on that phone, the cell phone that I am using for the business, because I have unlimited. I don't. Oh, my train's going by. Shoot.
Okay.
So I missed part of that. They froze for about 30 seconds.
See the picture there? That's on my phone. That's data uses. That yellow line up there is 2 gigs.
Right.
And that is the warning that you're getting. Now, my thing starts counting on December 5th. So it started counting 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Today's the 5th, and it started counting today. I'm already. Whoa.
You're in a new billing cycle.
That's a week. That's actually a week. It
Okay.
shows that that's a week of use. But if you
because it's unlimited, I haven't set my my mobile data usage, on the phone.
Right.
But I don't log into like strange Wi-Fi's anymore. Like when I'm out, I don't bother. I just shut my Wi-Fi off and let my mobile data kick in because it's unlimited, and I'm not, as long as I have service,
Right.
I should be fine. So it allows me to stream and do not, I'm not really limited. So I try not to log into any strange people's networks.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I worry
and
about that
certain,
with my tablet.
yeah, there are certain things I don't check on my cell phone because I don't have my firewalls and like all this stuff. And so, like, you know, to pay bills, I don't pay bills on my phone. I don't generally log into certain accounts. I only do that when I'm on my desktop, and I know for a fact that I'm secure. So eventually, I would like to do the VPN because I'm thinking I might end up having a couple virtual people, but I think I would get a server and then try to set up something properly to make sure everything is a little bit more secure.
I've been thinking of getting a server. You know, do any of you have a server where you have, you know, your clients also access it?
Yeah, I used to have it. It's a very expensive deal to maintain and all of that. I don't know. I personally don't recommend it.
Okay.
When you talk about server, Yvette, are you talking about like what Larry's talking about, a virtual one, or actually a computer at your house?
Yeah, an actual server at my house. Because I kind of met with the IT person recently, and they told me that maybe I should look into getting a server, but they quoted me like about close to $10,000 for the whole setup.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sarah actually is the one that has a server set up. I've worked with them at previous places, and they are very expensive. Mm-hmm. It's not only expensive hardware, but the software and the Microsoft licensing is incredibly expensive too.
Right.
And then it gets to the point where, you know, it has to be maintained, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And you have to keep your antivirus, all the security and that. I think you'd do better to find a local company that would offer you, like, renting space on their server or rent you a server at their location. The other thing is, it has to always have electrical backup power, and it has to be kept cold enough that it, you know. So I can give you the name of a guy that does that, and he does a lot of. You can either rent part of a server or a whole server. And he's really reliable.
You maintain it then?
Yep, everything.
So you also have hosting, though.
Yeah, I do, but gosh, I forgot to turn my phone off. Jeez, sorry. That's all right. You know, now with the
we've all been there and done that.
Stuff, you know. All that's what happened. When your phone rings, it rings on your computers. So. It takes me a while to get used to that. But anyways, yeah, I do. The thing is I didn't really want to. This particular company that I use, they don't host Enterprise Solutions 2015, and so and I want to have. Right now, I'm not hosted myself. My clients are, but I want to have my company file hosted as well. So, but this company was telling me that they're not going to be doing it anytime soon because they have to change, I guess, all their servers, and it's very expensive with the new 2015 Enterprise. So, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. Pardon me?
Oh, Dennis, you froze again.
Yeah.
Repeat your question, Dennis. Are you with us?
Okay, my question is, why would you not use like Cloud9 or Citrix as opposed to?
I do have Citrix, but through this company, and they can't host 2015 Enterprise.
What about Right Networks? Isn't that who Intuit is partnering with?
Yeah, but you know, I was just looking into all avenues. You know,
right? That's a good idea.
And because you know, when I get a client. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. Let me turn off my phone. Anyways, I all the time tell them that I'm remote. So anyone I get, we either use a hosted server, a hosted environment, QuickBooks Online, or QBox now. So. You know, I was trying to think about what would be the best way for security as well. You know, like I'm having someone come in on Friday next week, and they're going to totally redo my whole entire system here at home because I have probably about 4 to 5 computers here in my house, you know.
Wow.
And we're the kind of work we do, we have to be very careful.
Absolutely.
And I've been reading, and I don't know, did you guys get that pamphlet from Intuit about security?
Did not.
Oh gosh, I got it like I think a few days ago, and
Yeah, it's the one that said, "Thanks for being a pro advisor. Here, buy some checks and prevent fraud."
No, I got something else, and it was all about Frank Avondale. Is that the one that you got?
Abigail?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get that one.
I did, but I didn't read it. Oh my gosh, I have to go back and find it now.
Yeah. And it's got me thinking, you know, it got me really thinking. I didn't read the whole thing, but I started just thinking, and I said, you know, I really, you know, I've never had any problems. I have firewalls and everything, but, you know, I use Apple. You know, all my products here are Apple devices except for one computer. I always like to have a Windows computer, even though I have Parallels on my main computer. But I just ended up thinking, you know, I want to get somebody in here that really can help secure everything for me more than what it is now. And so I called somebody that's a Mac expert and knows how to do this kind of stuff, and he's going to be coming in next Friday, and he's going to totally redo my stuff, clean up my computers, and also get some high security on my computers, because even my daughter has a laptop, and you know, I just want to be, you know, take extra steps, because times are getting to that point. I'm always turning around hearing somebody's identity got stolen, or, you know, it's so easy for people to just hack into anywhere.
Right, absolutely. They had the discussion on Radio Free QuickBooks this week too. What about a thumb drive that somebody took a backup on? And I have to say I'm guilty of that. When I go out and I'm consulting with clients, a lot of times I do take a backup. I do have one particular client that I do back up because I'm not confident that he's doing it. So at least if I have a copy, he can always go back to that last date.
Yes.
And if that thumb drive gets stolen, how easy is it to hack that QuickBooks database? And in the QuickBooks database, if you have employees, you've got Social Security numbers.
That's right.
You can get thumb drives you can encrypt, you know. They're more
That's true. That's true.
They're a lot more expensive, but you know, you can get it so that you can encrypt
I've seen them before, not so much lately. I think it would be hard to get a encrypted thumb drive these days. I remember having one of them like 3 or 4 years ago, and just for ease of use, you know, not using them anymore. But it is true. If you have a data file on a thumb drive, it would be fairly easy to get all of that. If you put bank numbers in your account numbers for your banking setup, if you have credit card numbers for your, you know, you accept credit cards from your clients.
Exactly.
You know, so it is scary, and it is something that you should think about.
Yeah, I don't keep credit card my client's credit card information at all.
Well, if you're set up with like I'm set up with Intuit Payment Network, okay, and it's encrypted. I mean, once you put that stuff in there, I mean, you can't really see the numbers, but I'm always very, you know, scared about that, you know, because it's in there. So you have to really be careful. So I'm just trying to get someone. This person's coming in next week, and just look at what I got and see what we can do about security.
Do you have a separate insurance rider on your business computers?
Yes, I have a separate even business policy, and because it's here in my home, you know.
Right, right. You're trying to cover your bases as best as you can.
Yeah. I've never had any issues, but you never know.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I feel more secure having stuff up in the cloud. I mean, you know, earthquake, flood, fire, whatever. I mean, if you got your...
but you know, then all they need is your password.
Yeah.
So.
Well, but it depends on how complicated your password is. That's true.
Well,
I've got one password, it's like about 25 characters that I think would be pretty hard to hack.
Yeah.
Right. That's true, but still, if you had your password somewhere and they got a hold of them, they would have access to everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could have this security discussion. Who was the last one we talked to? Was it Green Rope that talked about that? And I think also Falcon Expenses. That as much security as you have, there are always people out there that can break it.
Right.
Oh yeah, right.
Speaking of Green Rope, did anybody do that trial? Because I did, and I was not impressed.
Oh, I did not do it.
I did not. I thought Sarah was.
And the funny thing is,
pardon?
The funny thing is, the guy admitted that the free trial is not a full trial.
Right.
Okay. Well, see, to me, it would seem like you really have to do a lot of setup to make it work correctly.
Right.
Yeah, probably
If the stuff that I'm trying to see if it will work for my company, like connecting my social media and importing contacts, if it's not working the way it should, the way the full version works, how can I make an actual determination and say, yeah, I'm going to give you $400 to get me set up, and then I'm going to pay you $130 every month?
Right. But you know what?
No.
It does look like a sweet system to me.
It does.
It's something that I'm looking like I might want to go into because
you don't play with my money like that. We don't know each other like that, honey. Not for you to be wanting my money and not producing. That doesn't work for me. If I'm gonna give you $400 of my hard-earned money, oh, it better get up and dance for me. For real. But because I tried it, I'm like, why is this not working? So I emailed him. I was like, why can't I do this? And he admitted, he sent me an email back and said, well, the trial version doesn't have everything available to you for you to try. So
right.
What the hell? What's the point? What is the point of a trial if I can't try everything and see how it works?
Right.
I have to pay them $250 to set it up for me. And I'm trying to set it up, and it's not working because that's how they built it. And I'm like,
right.
No. That's a lot of money to shell out to not know that if it true during the trial period is it going to work for me? So how am I supposed to know if I can't
it's
actually?
Almost as if they should have some kind of a guarantee so that you get a refund if it doesn't work for you.
Right.
But I'm not going to spend that kind of time and effort doing
CRMs are in the nature of a CRM and the customization that you have to do. I can understand that it is very difficult to try. It's one of those things you just have to use and then decide whether you like it or not.
I really like Zoho. I like Zoho because it's like $20 a month, and I had a hard time understanding some of the other ones. Like I tried to use Method, and I could never figure that one out. And so, at least with the Zoho, it makes sense to me. And for my, I use it basically for centralizing information on clients, like passwords and emails and notes and files and that kind of stuff. And it's nice to have and to-do lists, and so it meets my needs. And it's like I say, $20 a month.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for what I liked about Green Rope was that they had the calendar, integrated calendar, the contacts. I could actually use it to sell stuff and capture leads and like that piece of it. Managing all those things. That's what I was looking for. But the things that I specifically said, this is what I'm looking to do, and I went to try them
and could not.
So, whatever.
I wanted to look at it for the project management, and the calendars, like you said.
Right.
That would be most interesting to me, the project management. I have worked with something called Office Tools Pro, which is a specific accounting type of CRM, and it has the project managers in there. It has the calendars and the shared calendars, so you can see what each person and the office is doing, if somebody's free or if they're working on something. It tracks and maintains the jobs or the tasks that you're working on. So that was one of the things. But again, and a lot like BillQuick, there's a lot of setup when you want that detail.
Yeah.
So you're either committed going in or not.
Right.
I don't know. I'll have to revisit after tax season. But it would have been nice to have it. That's why I was trying to do the setup, the trial now, to see if it's something I can implement for tax season, and I could utilize it for marketing, for for capturing leads, potential new tax clients, potential new bookkeeping clients. I'm doing a new project. That would have been ideal for that to be able to promote that, capture requests and schedule workshops and stuff like that. But it was just disappointing.
And again, we need Sarah for this conversation because she has reviewed about 20 of them at this point.
And when I spoke with her last week, she said she's going to download and do the trial for Green Rope. So
Right.
maybe she had better luck than me. But
again, her needs are a little different. She's looking at the website and downloading the licenses for her software.
Right, but she's already paying that kind of money for several separate things. So for her, it would be saving money. For me, you ain't trying to take my $500 like that. We need to have. You need to take me out to dinner first. That is.
Well, you never know. Be careful of what you wish for. He just might.
I know, right? Now, Qbox, that's a whole other story. I just jumped into bed with Qbox and was like, "Ooh, baby!"
I just got my first Qbox client, or got my first client to use Qbox.
Congratulations!
How did that go for you, Dennis? I know you were confused a little bit trying to set them up.
Get what's the guy's name?
Chris.
Chris.
Chris,
Yeah, he's wonderful.
Yeah, he explained to me, I was confused on the difference between if I issue the invitation versus the client issues the invitation. And I didn't realize that the client issued the invitation would create another root directory. And my client had actually sent the invitation to a wrong email address.
To complicate things even more.
They found, Qbox found it, and so I had to send my client email saying, hey, send it to this email address. And
right.
it looks like it's working. I got another client that seems to have a hard time finding the Qbox on the C drive to put seems to be having a hard time finding the share folder or the shared folder. So, and then I got another client.
He has Windows 8 on his computer.
I don't know. I don't think so. So I'm going to try calling her after this meeting and see if we can.
I mean, there's an option on Qbox to have the QuickBooks, the Qbox client right on your, the lower window, the tabs on the bottom, so you don't have to, you don't have to keep looking for it. That's in the set. Once you have the Explorer open, you just click and have it. When you minimize it, it doesn't go away. You can still see the big Q.
Well, I've been notified by Qbox that my client got the invitations, accepted it. But I just don't think she's moved the QuickBooks file into the shared Qbox file where I can have.
Okay. You'll have to do a join.me with her.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that after this meeting.
Oh, okay.
Where it's. But the thing he emphasizes that you got to make sure that you rename the old location or the file in the old location, so you don't. You have to use the one in the shared location as your main file, otherwise you get.
It's not going to sync at all. So you got to make sure. And I ran into that with a client, and I walked her through. I did a team viewer, took control of her computer, went in and found it, and got rid of the one she wasn't using. The one that we were both using, fixed it, and now I said, don't open Quick. When you want to open QuickBooks, go into Qbox and open it from you know, the QBox folder. And that way I can't do that with my clients because I have a client on 2013, one on 2014, one on 2015. So I have multiple, and I can't open QuickBooks first, and then I have to open QuickBooks first, and then
Browse.
Yeah.
And you
So
don't want the wrong version, and then
exactly, because it will open the most current version of QuickBooks that I'm using 2015. So
How many versions of QuickBooks do you have on your desktop, Misha?
4.
4?
Yeah.
I go back
I have
to
about 4.
Wait, do I have 4? No, I think I may have more than that. I have 4 in my my shortcuts, but I
go back to 2011.
yeah, that's about what far back.
Oh my God, that's funny. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the
I don't
only
have
one.
everything in 2011.
No.
I have everything 2013 and up, and I'm getting everybody on 2014 or 15 this year.
Yeah,
I
and the
try
funny
to bring
thing is-
people up. It's generally just laziness. It depends on when I set my computer up, and then I go forward.
yeah. I did have 11, 12, 13, 14, and when I don't have anybody on 11, so I removed that. It's still installed. I just don't have it on my in my favorites where I can easily.
So do you change the name of your icon? I put the year in front of
I do too.
Yeah, my icons are they all have the year at the end, so I know which one.
At the front or at the end?
At the end.
I rename it and put the year in the front so that it shows. If it's at the end, all you see is that QuickBooks, and that's it. It cuts off after that. So I put the year. I rename it and put the year in front of it.
Oh, I don't have anything. I don't have that. The only thing I have on my desktop is my tax software, and that goes back to 2003.
So you open through the programs. Okay.
I actually go through my start menu, and I have it, like, there's a bunch of things you can put in your favorites, and that's where I have them.
Okay.
So I keep them. Yeah, I go. That would drive me
Did you see that they changed the logo for Enterprise for 2015?
They changed the logo for Premiere to Accountant.
Yeah.
Premiere.
Yeah.
Has anybody gotten the QBO new accountant?
I'm not sure if I have it or not.
I got an email about it. I haven't gone in yet. I'm afraid.
Mine hasn't been upgraded, so. I also see they've got the advanced exam out there in the portal.
Oh, do they? I did the online advance?
Yeah, I downloaded the PDF files. I may take a look at it this weekend. When I'm going to take the
I did for the desktop. I didn't for the advanced yet. I joined a group for the advanced, and then I don't know. People seem to be angry with that group.
Is that the Facebook group? Is that a Facebook group?
Yes.
I'm thinking Intuit is going to have to wait because I have a more pressing recertification that I need to do. The IRS, we don't play with them.
Right. That's coming through.
Huh?
Are you ready for the premium tax credit on the Obamacare?
No.
That's going to be a mess.
No. But I'm not scared. I live in Massachusetts, Dennis. We don't run away from stuff like that. I ain't scared. Shoot.
I'm in this accounting marketing group on Thursdays, and no one seems to know what's. I was reading a survey that it was by Intuit Tax Online that of their survey, only about 7% of the taxpayers actually felt comfortable that they knew enough about Obamacare right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Have the final forms yet.
That's crazy. So what are you doing to prepare for the end of the year right now? What are you doing right now with your clients?
I am running away quickly, and I have turned to the bottle. I'm telling you, I got 2 bottles of half open wine in the fridge. I'm starting to mix them. I'm gonna show you this is now my new cup right here. Oops. This is what I'm going, and it's gonna be filled with wine. This is it right here.
That's a serious cup. That's a half a gallon of wine there.
Yeah, that is gonna get me through the weekend. Actually,
All right.
get me through the night.
Intuit Tax Online has a nice form or handout on the ACA, so I figured I would send it to my business clients and say, and maybe people that might be impacted by the premium tax credit. I think most of them are either, a lot of them are retired or, covered by employers,
Right.
so you don't have to worry about it. It's,
Yeah,
I guess no one really knows how many people are going to be impacted by the ACA yet until tax
Right.
season, but from what I've read is that the premium tax, is it 8962, the premium tax credit, the reconciliation is going to be a real,
Yeah.
and companies are having, form 1095 A, B, or C, and which you'll use to figure the premium tax credit to make sure they've got proof of coverage.
Yeah, we need Bruce here to talk about this. I want Bruce to talk about
We
this.
gotta
Has
get
anybody talked to
we
Bruce?
can invite him as a guest.
I know we should do a special
He told
December
me
demo.
The last time he was on air, I'm planning to attend your hangout every week, and I haven't seen him since.
Yeah, what
He's probably watching. He's probably watching. We should talk about him.
He's so busy. But when we're talking tax forms, we need Bruce to come on and give his opinion, especially Obamacare stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I have my business clients. They don't really have craziness, and I am not dealing with their taxes, so I am very happy about that.
For my clients that I do the bookkeeping, I'm very confident that all the information is there that they need, the 1099 vendors, all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
I recommend payroll to people to use a payroll service, and boy, am I happy that I do that this year.
I know. I just got a new client yesterday, and their previous bookkeeper was doing the payroll, and sometimes they were late getting the payroll out. But he told me, I need you to do the payroll, and I told him I don't do payroll. I turn it over to another party, either like ADP or Paychex. That's who I use,
Right.
And I like their reporting too. It's easy to book the payroll that way. So yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to set it up on the 1st, make that transition. But I'm so glad I don't do payroll. There are people that love it and make a good living off of it, but it's not my bag.
And W-2s this year, oh my gosh.
Well, yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know what they're in for this year. But yeah, that's why I recommend, same as you, that I do recommend payroll companies. I think that that's all that they do, so they can do it cheaper than I can.
Really well.
And they keep up on all the rules and regulations, what they can anyway, what's out there. If the ones aren't there and available at the moment, not a whole lot you can do.
Many of you use Zen Payroll. I've heard very good things about them, but I've never used them.
Which payroll?
Zen.
I know they work with Xero. I think they work with QuickBooks too. As far
Yeah, I know they work with both. I went on the site.
Seth is on Zen now.
Who? Seth?
Yes,
Yes, I think so.
I think he's using Zen, and he has good things to say about it.
Yeah.
Well, I actually, maybe a couple weeks ago, I got a email to talk about Zen, and I connected with them, and I was pretty impressed. But if they do a wholesale model like Intuit does, I might be interested in switching from Intuit to them. But he said it's coming. He has me on their beta list, so we'll see.
Nice.
We'll see what happens.
Do they work payroll similar to like Paychex? I mean, you just give them the numbers and they do the thing, or what?
I have no idea.
I believe
I didn't do a demo
I
already.
remember, Seth talking about it, saying they take care of all the taxes and everything.
I did see a video that he did, that Seth did, about the way they do the payroll taxes and how it comes into QuickBooks. So it comes in a little differently, and you have to make some kind of adjustment, so because you can feed it into your QuickBooks,
Yeah.
So I always manually enter them, you know.
Yeah, the good thing about Zen, I think, is the way they integrate with QuickBooks.
Right.
Nice, nice.
And I wonder what their fees are. I wonder if they're expensive.
Yeah, I didn't get that far. He was talking about this, and I'm like, yeah, no, not right now.
The other thing is if you have a client that has people in multiple states, different states,
Mm-hmm.
what a bear that is. You know, I don't know. Not everybody handles that so well.
Right, exactly. And QuickBooks Intuit is one of them, actually. It doesn't handle that so well. Dennis, you laugh. It sounds like an experience laugh.
No, I've just heard it. You know that
Same thing.
you would think that Intuit being the largest.
Right. Well, I had an interesting thing happen with QuickBooks Online. Part of what I'm doing with all of my clients that I don't do bookkeeping with is I do certain things at year end, like in December. I'll make sure that every vendor that's due a 1099 has all the information in there. So I'll actually run that 1099 report from QuickBooks Desktop.
Yeah.
Well, I went to do that online and could not. You need the premium online version to do it.
The payroll.
Oh.
Yeah. There's not even a checkbox in the vendor section to note that it is
Essential or Plus?
Pardon?
In QuickBooks Online Plus, right?
Yep. So what I had to do was I went in from the profit and loss and into the subcontractors and whatever other expenses that they would, use 1099 vendors for, and run the report, sort it by name so that I could see which vendors we needed to look at, and run the report that way.
I don't understand why they would want to create extra work. Really?
Oh, but you can do it with the reports, and then I put either the EIN or Social Security number in the account numbers. But like a vet, I'm concerned about security with that.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't seem like, if they're a 1099 vendor and you check them as a 1099 vendor, I would think that they encrypt that. But if you just put that information in the account number, it is a workaround. You can get the reports then at that point. You can get all of the name, address, and TIN number for the vendors and get the amount you've paid them. I just don't feel it's secure, that's all.
Yeah.
I've always been nervous about putting social numbers in a QuickBooks file.
What are you going to do, though? I mean...
Well, I know that there's... Like, for example, I have a thing by McAfee. It's called it's a vault. Supposedly it encrypts part of your hard drive, and that's where I put my QuickBooks files.
Okay.
It is in the encrypted, in the vaults, so
Right.
to speak. And so what ends up happening is that if the vault isn't open when I go to try to open the file on my hard drive,
Mhm.
it can't find it. And so
Got
then
I have enough problems with finding files with
the only thing is, if the vault gets corrupted, then you're really kind of screwed.
Exactly.
What was the name of it again?
It's a McAfee. It's called it's the Vault or Security Vault or something like that. It goes in and you can encrypt you can create a vault up to I think it's 4 gigs. So it essentially encrypts part of your hard drive, and so that's where I put my QuickBooks files is in the vault. So that because if they've got their social number, that's what makes me nervous is having social numbers, and most of the clients I have don't have credit card numbers in their QuickBooks file, but it's the payroll that makes me really nervous.
Right.
Well, even like 1099 vendors, some of them use their Social Security number.
I know
Right.
So you have to be very careful with that.
Yeah. I like what Sarah said I think it was last week. She mentioned, those vendors that they don't like police. She said she works with some police officers and some other people, and she just suggested that they go in and apply for a number and use that for to give out as their.
That's what I'm doing. When I first started business, my CPA actually told me that to get an EIN number as soon as you can. And when I started, I mean, it was really easy. I went onto the internet. I mean, I got it in a few minutes. I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah, you can actually.
Yeah.
I have to go. I'm sorry. I have to run with my father.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good weekend, Yvette. Like I was saying, you can apply EIN right online. You don't have, you get your letter.
You want the SS4 fill-in form.
Yep, the SS4 right online. They're only open a certain time during the day, so they do close. But so you can only do it during a certain period. But
I will say they do give you a number then, but you have to wait for your letter, because I have had on one occasion I was doing this for a client. The letter came back with a different number.
Really? Because
Yeah.
you get a letter right when you print, like when they do it, they generate a letter, a PDF.
It said to me to wait, wait for the letter via the mail.
Okay, well, I guess there must have been an issue with that, but generally, when you go onto the IRS's website, it now generates the letter and to print it.
It gave me a proposed number, but the number that came in through the mail was a different one. It only happened one time. Every other time, the proposed number and the number in the letter were the same.
Interesting.
But if you're waiting for that number to open a bank account, you want to wait until you actually get the letter from the IRS.
Got it.
So if you got a message that said, wait for the letter to come in the mail, then that something else is going on. But usually when you do it, it says, okay, now here's your number and your letter. Print this for your records. And usually, and then they will follow up and send another letter in the mail as well.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, they're giving you the letter right away.
Maybe it was closed when I tried it.
Probably, yeah, because if you're doing it, no, actually they won't even let you start the application if it's closed. So I don't know, but I don't know how long ago you did that. I mean, the most recent one I did, this was pretty recent, so.
Okay, yeah, this was a couple of years ago that happened to me.
They've changed it then. They've changed it. They're now issuing the letter, because at the end, there's this, this section that says, here is your letter, download it for your records, or print it, stuff like that. So that you're getting the letter immediately. And then if you have to make a change to it, you do the steps, and then they'll mail you a correction.
Right. Well, we are almost at the end of our session. Does anybody want to talk about anything before we close today?
I just wanted to ask Misha about. I take it you use a hotspot for your computer for your laptop when you're out with clients or whatever, right?
No.
You don't.
I've got like a MiFi. Have you seen those? Or
so I don't have a laptop anymore, but when I did, I actually had a mobile data, and I would put the little thing inside, and it would run it using
From your phone.
Yeah, my phone. But I don't use a laptop anymore. I use my little LG pad, and I do use TeamViewer, and I remote into my computer, and I pull up whatever data I need, and for the most part.
Got it.
That's how I'm doing it now. I will get a laptop, but I have Comcast as my thing, and I can actually use my Comcast account to log into the Comcast network to do what I need to do. But I don't do a lot of personal, I stopped doing that, that whole remote, that whole I'm out, I'm going to do all of the work. I don't do that anymore. I don't work with clients right then and there. I have them write what they need to write down, and I bring it back to the office and work.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm curious, Dennis, did you figure out how your internet connection is and how you're going to handle that?
What happened is that I think it was my modem that was the problem.
Okay.
But I went out and bought a new router, and then Comcast sent me a new modem, and then I finally got a hold of my IT guy who was on vacation for a week over Thanksgiving.
Got it.
And turns out that my new modem has a router built in, so I
Right.
couldn't use the router. So I took the router back,
Got
and
it.
I had to activate it of all things with Comcast, and then it started working. And then my
Oh, got it.
my IT guy, yeah, once you do modem, you need to activate it. So I put that on my things I've learned today list. 'Cause
You know, the funny thing,
I
Dennis,
did that list.
the funny thing is,
Pardon?
I have a pretty powerful modem, wireless router that I purchased myself because when I got Comcast, they were just doing the modems. And I was having a lot of issues. Turns out that my modem was bad. I've had to replace it a couple times. And when I got the newest modem, it came with the built-in Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
And I had them deactivate it because I spent a couple $100 on my modem, on my Wi-Fi router. So I had them deactivate that because I wasn't going to pay the extra money for them to do the both of them.
Right.
And I just use my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi can support maybe 10 or 15 devices.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
So I'm not going to pay extra when I've already paid, for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I was able to take mine back and get a refund, fortunately, and
So you didn't have to pay any extra.
Well, that's good.
yeah, fortunately I had it for a couple of days, and then because I used to assume the router was bad, then it turns out I got the router and that didn't fix things, and so I figured it's got to be the modem. So I called Comcast, and they actually, they sent me about 4 letters, saying, hey, you got to upgrade your modem.
Right.
So I said, well, maybe I should upgrade my modem. They keep bugging me. So if I had gone to the website, it would have taken 4 to 6 weeks. But when I called in, it only took like 3 days.
Wow.
And so I had the new modem, and so then my IT guy figured out that it was. He told me that the router was built in, and then
You had to activate it.
doing all these IP configs and pinging Google and all that, and then we finally he figured out, hey, have you activated this modem yet? Because it was showing that it was Google was responding, but then once I activated it, then I didn't have any problems, and then he was able to go in using TeamViewer and resetting my network. So
Oh, that's good.
that's pretty scary when your network's down, and I was using a tablet, my little Nexus tablet with the
Try and get your
or it's kind of
internet.
it was kind of
Right.
ridiculous, we couldn't do anything really other than just hanging out and
Right. Tough to work in the cloud when you can't get there.
Yeah, when the
know, right?
cloud is gone.
That's true.
That's one of the downfalls. That's kind of one of the, you get so dependent on the internet that you are really up a creek.
Right, right. But the alternative is to do what Yvette's doing and pay $10,000 for a server. So what do you want to do?
I mean, I think if I had an external office, I definitely would look to invest in having a server.
Well, when I had my own office, I basically remoted in using my tax software was on my computer at home, and so when I was at my office, I would just basically log me in
Right.
to my home computer and just do the work on the home computer, and then I had it so I could print to my office computer,
Yeah.
So that worked pretty well for the most part.
Mm.
Very expensive proposition maintaining.
Yeah, but if you're to the point where you need staff and you have people,
Well,
other people doing work.
$10,000, I don't know if I would want to.
But I know she got a quote for $10,000. But trust me, there are ways to figure out.
Yeah, but some of them not. Some of them not. The Microsoft licenses are a couple $1,000s themselves, and there's no way around it, and it doesn't work without them.
Mm-hmm.
So, in addition to the hardware, you've got all of that software that you've got to buy and install to make it work too.
I don't know why you couldn't just do like I think it's like Bonnie Nakayama has a virtual office and basically has employees like on different cities in the country. I think she just does it over the internet.
Again, that's wonderful so long as internet's there.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
I don't know. I think it definitely would be a good capital investment if I were if business kind of took off and started to expand.
Sure.
And the income was there to support it. I would definitely go the extra mile to make sure everything is secure. And again, you get what you pay for. If,
you could depreciate it over future income.
Exactly. Because then I'm looking from a tax perspective, because it's a capital investment. Then you get tax credits for doing certain things. Right. So there's a way to offset the high expense of something like that.
That's true.
So yeah.
And Yvette's pretty young too, so it's like some of us are more at the far end and some are at the near end. That's a big difference.
Absolutely. I've been thinking about that, Linda. That's a fact. It's the truth.
I don't know if any of you want to come to Southern California for the weekend of January 3rd, but I'm going to have my 70th birthday party then, so I'll have to email you guys invitations in case you're going to be around.
I still say that you set up a computer virtual monitor in the corner, and we all log into.
That's it. You can come. We can have a hangout.
Right. We have the camera. We can be part of the party. On this coast.
January 3rd is on a Saturday, so we don't got to get up early in the morning Sunday.
I know, right? Because I'm telling you, I'll have my thing filled with wine, and I'll be cheering you, honey.
Right. Sounds good to me. Party time.
I know. This time I need a straw for that one, because I don't even think I'll be able to get it to my head.
Well, you need a bladder the size of a swimming pool to handle that cup,
I know, right?
Alrighty, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.
God bless you guys.
Have a good one. See you next week.
Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.